Hi everybody, welcome back to another YouTube yoga session. Time to unroll your mat, grab some props, some blocks, blankets, strap, anything that you might want to use to help you in your yoga practice today. Remember to modify as you see fit. Challenge yourself, of course, where you can. The rest of it will play by ear. Today's practice is going to be geared more towards fortifying the back, hopefully relieving some back pain that comes with sitting for long periods of time. I know a lot of us tend to do that, especially in quarantine, working from home. So we'll address some of those issues today. Before we begin, please remember to click the like button, subscribe to my channel. Each time I add content, you will be notified when something appears, which is frequently. Find a comfortable seat on your mat. I am sitting on a block cross-legged, but you do what's going to be best for you. Sitting nice and tall, let your hands just fall into your lap or on the legs. Close the eyes. Sitting tall, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe let your chin soften a little bit toward the chest. Sitting on a prop too will also help to avoid rounding in the lower back, especially if that's where you're feeling some tension. Sitting on something to lift the hips can help to alleviate that. Let's just sit quietly for a moment, focus on the breath. Try keeping the breath moving in and out through the nose. Feel the shoulders soften back behind you. Try finding length along the spine, reaching up through the crown of the head. Let's bring palms together at the heart. Setting an intention for your practice today if you choose. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Letting the breath lengthen. Opening up the eyes if they're not already open. Let your right hand reach toward the mat. Maybe the fingertips don't even touch down. That's okay. Take your left hand to the outside of, I guess, the upper part of your right ear. Right? So you're not actually putting your hand on the ear. Fingertips just above the ear without putting any real pressure on the head. Soften your left ear to your left shoulder. As you continue sitting tall with your head leaning, you should feel a nice stretch through the neck, through the shoulder, even maybe through the right arm. Hold for 2 more deep breaths. Keep the breath moving. Let's return the head back to neutral. Bring your left arm down so your left arm reaches out. Take the right hand to the opposite side of your head, fingertips just above the left ear without any real pressure on the head. No good, right? Nice and easy. Right ear softens to the right shoulder. Deep breaths. Enjoy this nice lengthening along the neck, the shoulder, maybe even through the left arm. 2 more breaths. Start releasing out, return your head to neutral, bring both arms overhead. Enjoy a nice little twist. Go to your right side. The left arm comes forward, the right arm reaches back, hips are still facing forward, just getting some movement in the upper spine. Look toward your right side. Take 1 more deep breath. Lift the arms back overhead, return to center, go to the left, bring the right arm forward, left arm back. Keeping the breath moving, let the breath fill the space to kind of help open things up. One more breath. Come back to center, arms overhead. Reach both arms out to the sides. Take the right arm, slide it under the left, coming into eagle arms, wrapping wrists, wrapping your elbows. If this isn't agreeable for the shoulders, take your hands to opposite shoulders, okay? Sit tall, inhale, lift the elbows up. With your exhale, bring the elbows back down. We'll move like that, inhaling, elbows up. Exhaling down. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center, then go from side to side. Just let the breath move free and clear. And see how that feels on the shoulders, the space between the shoulders. Returning to center, let the arms reach out to the side. Nice stretch, reach out. Let's go the other way. Wrap the left arm under the right, elbows and wrists or hands to shoulders. Big inhale, lift the elbows high. Exhaling, draw the elbows straight down. Two more, inhaling. Exhaling. One more. Returning to center, arms reach out toward the sides, hands back onto the legs. Turn the palms face down. Take a deep breath in. Sit tall, lifting the chest, soften the shoulders back, little back bend. With your exhale, round down. Drop your chin to your chest, really curl in. Inhale, come up. Slight back bend, exhaling, round it down. 3 more, move with the breath. Two more. One more. Returning back up to a neutral spine. Let's come off our seat, come onto hands and knees. Start with your right leg reaching back on the mat. Tuck the toes. Gently press the right heel back, just enough so you can feel the back of the right leg wake up. Enjoy a nice little stretch here. Start to lift your right leg up off the mat, keeping the hips level. Rotate your inner right thigh up toward the sky. That'll help to keep things evened out. Draw the belly up and in, just so you're not sagging through the back, putting any excess pressure here on the lower back. So draw in, keep it nice and stable. Reach the left arm forward. You're either looking past your left fingertips or you're looking toward the floor in front of the mat. See what feels better on the neck. You're welcome to hold it right here. If you want to go for it, start to bend up at the right knee, remembering sometimes less is more, so move mindfully. If you want to go for it, reach the left hand back, grab the right foot. So you're getting a nice stretch through the left shoulder, kick up and back through the right foot. Take one more breath. Let's all meet back where we started with the left arm forward, right leg back. Breathing in. With your exhale, bring the knee to the elbow. Curl it in. Slow, slow, slow. Inhale, reach out. 2 more times. Exhale, curl in. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling, round. Inhale to reach out. With your exhale, come back to hands and knees, switching up the sides, left leg back. Start with the toes tucked into the mat. Enjoy a nice stretch. Just gently press the heel back. Start lifting up your left leg off the mat, hips level, inner left thigh just slightly up toward the sky. Right arm forward, either looking past your fingertips or toward the floor. You're welcome to keep it right here. Breathe, building strength through stability, okay? Either keep it here or bend the left knee, reach your right hand back. Keep the breath moving. If the breath starts to get shallow or choppy, right, you might be doing a little too much. Your breath is going to be your best guide. Kick up into your hand one more time. Let's all meet back where we started. Take an inhale. On the exhale, bring the knee to the elbow round. Inhaling 2 more times. Exhale, round. 1 more. Exhale. Inhaling, reaching out with your exhale, come back to hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide, line up the wrist crease with the front edge of the mat, come into downward facing dog, hips up and back. Feel free to walk out your feet in the first down dog if you want. If down dog is too much for you on the back, because sometimes it is, depending on what's happening with your back, you can keep your knees on the mat and do like a puppy dog stretch here, right? Optional, of course. You're going to get a nice extension through the back doing this. And that's also, of course, if your wrist don't like the pressure from down dog. Good. Let's take another deep breath. And if you're in your puppy dog pose, come onto hands and knees. Transition through down dog as you start to look forward through the hands, walk or hop the feet to the front of the mat. Fold over the legs. Keep your feet about hip-width distance apart. That's approximately the space of 2 fists between the feet. Soften the knees. Take your hands to opposite elbows. Round down. And if it feels good, you can nod the head or shake the head yes, no. Sway a little side to side. But making sure that you always keep at least a little bend in the knees. But you're welcome to bend up the knees as much as you like. This takes pressure off of your lower back. Switch the hands so the opposite's on top. One more breath. Start relaxing the arms toward the mat. Begin rolling up slowly to stand. Press down, uncurl. Come up. Soften the shoulders back. Lengthen the tailbone toward the heels. Shoulders over the hips. Crown of the head lengthening up. So we want our standing alignment to be clean. Gaze past the end of the nose. Tadasana. With an inhale, sweep the arms overhead, reach up, maybe look up if you can. With your exhale, dive over the legs, soft bend in the knees, reach the arms back, interlace all 10 fingers, stretch the arms up and over. Again, keeping at least a soft bend, micro bend in the knees. Head down. Sway a little if you like. Let's take one more deep breath. Relax the arms toward the mat. Lift the chest. With your exhale, step the left foot back. Coming into a low lunge, lower the back knee. Hands to your right thigh. Chest up. If it feels good to do so, let the hips sink into the stretch. Keep the right heel on your mat. Feel the tailbone lengthen down the back leg. So we want to make sure that we're not crunching the lower back by sticking out the tailbone, right? Find length. Hopefully you feel a little stretch in the top of the left leg or in the hip flexor, right? Through here. Right? So if you feel that stretch, you don't even need to go all the way deep into it, okay? Sit tall, lift the arms high. Interlace all 10 fingers overhead, flip the palms up. As both palms flip up, pressing up, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Let's take one more deep breath. Flip the hands back around, bring the palms to prayer at the heart. Take a little twist to the right, releasing out your left hand to the outside of the right leg while the right arm drapes gently around the lower back. Your hips still facing forward, just the upper body opening up toward the right side. Take 2 more deep breaths. One more. Come back to center with both hands on the mat. Come into a half split pose. Straighten your right leg. Curl the right toes back toward you. You're flexing the foot here. You can put blocks under the hands if you choose. Let's hold for 1 more deep breath. Start to rebend the right knee. Lift the back knee. Step to down dog. Inhale forward to plank. Lower your knees, lower all the way onto your belly. Untuck the toes, slide the arms back, interlace the fingers, keep the feet, the legs glued together. With an inhale, lift everything off the mat. Keep the feet together, don't let the feet separate. Draw the shoulder blades together, give it 1 more inhale. Exhale, release, take a brief child's pose. Shift back, knees apart, toes together. Take a deep breath or 2. 1 more time. Start returning to hands and knees. Press back to downward facing dog. Let's look forward through the hands. Walk or hop the feet to the front. Folding over the legs with your feet hip width distance, rounding down. Slight bend in the knees, roll up once again slowly. Uncurl, envision stacking one vertebra on top of the other until your head comes up last. Shoulders back, palms slightly forward, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep your arms around. Urdhva Hastasana, look up with your exhale, dive, soften the knees, change the grip when interlacing all 10 fingers behind you, stretch the arms over, head down. Let's take 1 more deep breath. Relaxing your arms back to the mat. Lift the chest, step the right foot back, low lunge, lower the knee. Both hands to your left thigh, lift the chest. Keep your heel on the mat. If it feels good, sink the hips in. Lengthen the tailbone down the right leg. Hopefully you feel a little stretch in the right side hip flexor, maybe the top of the right leg. Chest up, shoulders back a little bit, then both arms, bring them up, change the grip, interlace fingers, flip the palms high, shoulder blades drop down your back. 1 more breath. Flip the hands around, palms to prayer at the heart. Take your little twist to your left, releasing the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Drape the left arm gently around the lower back. The hips still face forward, but the rest of you opening up upper body. 1 more deep breath. As you come back to center, hands to the mat, Ardha Hanuman, half split, straighten out your left leg. Curl the left toes. Blocks under the hands if you need. Let's give it another deep breath or so. And rebending up at the front knee. Lift the back knee up. Down dog, step the left foot back. Inhale, take it forward. Exhale, knees lower all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, slide the arms back. Interlace the fingers, change the grip so the opposite pinky finger sits on top. Feet, legs glued together. Big inhale, lift everything off the mat, keeping the feet glued together. Shoulder blades draw back. Crown of the head lengthens forward. Open the heart. 1 more big inhale. Exhale, release it all out. Child's pose, shift back. Toes together, hips to heels, taking a deep breath or 2. Come up onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes, plank pose. Now, we'll hold here for a little bit. You can stay here with the hands down. If this, again, gets too intense for the wrists, drop your forearms down. All right? 5 deep breaths. right? Building core strength is also going to help with any back issues. Let's take a side plank, go to the right side. Right leg on top again. You can have your left elbow down, forearm, right? 5 deep breaths, that's about 30 seconds. Of course, if you need to take a break, take a break. Sometimes you need to build up some strength to get to your 30 seconds. Let's meet back in the middle, go the other way. Face the left side, left leg on top. All right, core work does not need to be complicated, right? We keep it uncomplicated, we'll still get the job done. One more breath. Let's come back to center. Lower your knees and cross at your ankles. Bring the legs forward. Extend the legs out. Now, we'll take a forward fold depending on what's happening with your back. You may need to do this a couple of different ways. If the knees need to bend the knees. Maybe slide a blanket behind the knees or a bolster. Sometimes that feels really good for the hamstrings and the lower back. If that's you, go for it, okay? If you don't need to do that, that's fine too. Sit tall. Inhale, lift the arms up. With your exhale, come forward, reach for your feet. If you need to, use a belt or strap. If that is not in the cards either, just let your hands rest on opposite sides of your legs. Round into it, right? All right, this should feel like a nice release. Obviously, not doing it if this is causing pain. Anything that causes you pain is your body's way of saying don't do it. All right, so always listen to that. Let's take another deep breath or two. With your inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, releasing out your hands, lower onto your backs, bring the knees in. Just hug in the legs. And if it feels good, you can rock a little bit side to side. Sometimes even happy baby feels good. Your feet pressing up toward the sky, knees dropping in toward your armpits. Your lower back should hopefully be making some kind of contact with the mat. And let's take one more breath. Let go, feet back on the mat. Reverse figure 4. Take your right ankle above the left knee, hug the left leg in. So if you have any sciatica issues, pigeon pose might feel really good. This is a modified way of doing it, but you still get the same stretch, the same release through the hip. So this, you might find that this helps any low back issues. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. Start to let go, returning both feet on the mat. Set up the other side. Left ankle on top, interlace fingers, hug your right leg in. Two more breaths. And of course, you're always welcome to do this one on your own. Most of these can be done standalone stretches. Good. And letting both feet once again return onto the mat. Hug your right knee in toward the chest, straighten the left leg out. Press your left heel away, Bring your right knee closer toward your right shoulder. Think about lengthening your tailbone without really tucking the tailbone. Lengthen the tailbone down your left leg. This releases not just the left leg, but it helps to release the hip flexor, which can release any low back tension or low back pain that is going on. Take 2 more deep breaths. One more. Good. Start to soften the left leg a little bit. Let's take a twist. Go to your left side. Bring the right knee over. Bring the right knee over. Twist left. Drop your right arm out, making sure your right shoulder stays on the mat. If it feels good to do so, look toward the right, taking 2 more deep breaths. Return to center. Let go of the right leg. Bring your left knee in so your right leg presses away from you on the mat. The calf of your right leg should be making contact with the mat. Left knee toward the left shoulder. Lengthen the tailbone down the right leg. Take 2 more deep breaths, releasing the lower back. One more. Start to soften the right leg up a little bit, twist to the right, bring your left knee over, drop your left arm out. Try keeping both shoulders on the mat. You'll get a better twist, a better release with your shoulders down. Look left if you can. 2 more breaths. Good. Come back to center. Bring the knees in again. Rock a little side to side. Releasing out your legs, setting up Shavasana. Feel free again, if you want to release the lower back, grabbing a blanket behind the knees helps to release the lower back. I can demonstrate using blocks, so if you don't have a blanket but blocks, that works too. A bolster under the knees, particularly helpful. If you're using blocks like I am, angle the blocks down. That'll just fit better behind the knees. Roll onto your back. Nice and easy as you release back. You just let your feet drop out as it feels good. Let the arms drop out, palms up, closing the eyes. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Let the breath soften a little bit, feeling your whole body relax back on the mat from the crown of your head through your toes, through your fingertips, just letting go. Begin lengthening the breath. Bringing awareness back to the body, maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Stretch the arms overhead, enjoying a nice waking stretch. Then bringing both knees back in toward the chest. Roll slowly to one side. Keeping the eyes closed a little longer, return back up to a comfortable seated position on the mat. Bringing palms together at the heart, soften your chin to your chest. Taking a moment, let's seal our practice, returning to the breath. And always taking a moment to honor your efforts and honor your practice today. You're welcome to join me chanting one Om as we seal the class, beginning with a deep breath in, taking a deep breath out, inhaling, Om. Namaste.